Learn English to Hindi logic words, assumption, proof, clue and
Antardrishti.
welcome, detective of words. Hey, you are not just learning vocabulary today. You are entering a mystery where every word solves part of the case. Welcome to the case of the missing biscuit tin. Yes, a very serious crime. A steel tin full of cardamom biscuits has vanished from Auntie Mina's kitchen, and only a brave language learner like you can solve it. But this is not just a mystery. It is your English to Hindi training ground. First, you hear a guess. In Hindi, one word for assumption is
Anuman.
if I look at the empty plate and say, my
Anuman.
is that Uncle Raj was here, that is an assumption, not a fact. Another word for assumption is
Manyata.
that sounds a bit more like an accepted idea or belief. So if the whole family has the
Manyata.
that Uncle Raj always steals snacks, well, that may be tradition, but tradition is not proof. In this case, we also need a hypothesis, which in Hindi is
Parikalpana.
a hypothesis is a testable idea. For example, my
Parikalpana.
is that the biscuits disappeared because the lid was left open and the dog got ambitious. Very scientific, very snack-based. Now keep your detective hat on, because we will soon need a
Dastavez.
Sabut,
Samket.
a,
Suchna.
and finally some glorious.
Antardrishti.
The first wild assumptions. Let us start where many mysteries begin, with people being confidently wrong. Very human, very educational. Auntie Mina gasped and said, my
Anuman.
is that the biscuits were stolen at dawn. Good drama, weak evidence. Cousin Neha added, it is only a
Manyata.
that Uncle Raj steals sweets. Last week he stole only samosas. Fair point. Progress. You say, we should not act on
Anuman.
alone. Congratulations. You now sound smarter than half the room. Then Grandpa announces a grand.
Manyata.
Anyone who sits near the kitchen is suspicious. By that logic, the refrigerator is a criminal mastermind. So remember,
Anuman.
is assumption, a guess or estimation.
Manyata.
Is also assumption, often sounding like a held belief or accepted idea. A very scientific biscuit theory. Now you upgrade from random family drama to detective science. Time for the fancy word. You clear your throat and say, I have a.
Parikalpana.
Everyone goes silent because that word sounds expensive. Your
Parikalpana.
is this. If the thief was tall, the tin was taken from the top shelf without noise. If the thief was short, a chair was used. If the thief was a child, there will be crumbs. And if the thief was the dog, there will be joy, chaos, and zero regret. A.
Parikalpana.
Must be tested. That is what makes it different from a simple assumption. An assumption just sits there looking confident. A hypothesis says, please check me. So you inspect the shelf, the chair, and the floor. Science has entered the kitchen. The biscuits should be nervous. The mysterious document. Every good case becomes twice as serious when someone produces paperwork. Under the fruit bowl, you discover a folded
Dastavez.
a document. Immediately, everyone acts as if this is a national security issue. Auntie says, please open the
Dastavez.
carefully. Grandpa says, maybe it is my pension paper. The dog says nothing, but looks unusually diplomatic. You open the
Dastavez.
and read, shopping list, milk, tea, sugar, biscuits. This is useful, but not dramatic enough. Still, now you know the Hindi word.
Dastavez.
It means document, an official or important paper. If someone says, please sign this,
Dastavez.
do not sign first and ask questions later. That is how sitcoms happen. Proof at last, maybe. Now we move from guesses to something stronger. Or at least we hope so. Near the sink, you find crumbs and a tiny greasy fingerprint. Auntie whispers.
सबूत.
Single quote. Yes. Proof. In Hindi.
सबूत.
Means proof or evidence. It is stronger than an assumption. You say, do we have
सबूत.
of the thief? This already sounds like a courtroom drama, and honestly, the kitchen lighting helps. Grandpa points at the fingerprint and says, this is
सबूत.
that someone touched the tin. Correct, though not exactly shocking. Then the cat walks by with biscuit crumbs on its face. Suddenly the room gets very quiet. This, my friend, is stronger.
सबूत.
Clues, hints, and suspicious whiskers. A clue is not the whole answer, but it loves pointing at the answer like an excited tour guide. You notice something under the table, a ribbon from the biscuit tin. That is a
संकेत.
a clue. Then you find paw prints near the window. Another
संकेत.
Then you hear the cat burp politely. Honestly, the cat is cooperating too much. In Hindi,
संकेत.
means clue, hint, or sign depending on context. A clue helps you solve something, but it is not yet final proof. So the ribbon is a
संकेत.
the paw prints are a
संकेत.
the cat's extremely guilty face is an emotional.
संकेत.
Remember this contrast.
संकेत.
Is a clue.
सबूत.
Is proof. One points. The other confirms. The notice on the wall. Sometimes the truth is not hidden at all. It is just taped badly to a wall. By the kitchen door hangs a bright yellow.
सूचना.
A notice. You read it aloud. Do not feed biscuits to the cat. There is a long silence. Then everyone slowly turns toward Uncle Raj. In Hindi,
सूचना.
means notice, information, or public message. If a school posts an important,
सूचना.
you should read it. If a station has a
सूचना.
board, check it. If auntie hangs a
सूचना.
saying, do not feed biscuits to the cat, maybe do not create a furry criminal empire. Uncle Raj coughs and says, I may have missed the
सूचना.
The cat looks pleased with its legal defense team. The great aha moment. You have assumptions, a hypothesis, a document, proof, clues, and a notice. Now comes the delicious brain spark. Suddenly you get
अंतर्दृष्टि.
insight, deep understanding. The cat did not steal the biscuits alone. It was assisted, encouraged, sponsored, even. The shopping list in the
दस्तावेज.
shows biscuits were bought yesterday. The
सूचना.
says not to feed them to the cat. The crumbs are.
सबूत.
The ribbon and paw prints are.
संकेत.
You're old.
अनुमान.
About Don theft was weak. The family.
मान्यता.
About Uncle Raj being snack dangerous was, unfortunately, strong. Your.
परिकल्पना.
About animal involvement was correct. That moment when all the pieces connect, that is.
अंतर्दृष्टि.
Not just seeing, but truly understanding. The case is solved. The cat is guilty. Uncle Raj is guiltier. Quick fire review. You did the detective work. Now let us lock the words into memory. Answer in your head, or dramatically point at the ceiling if that helps. Assumption as a guess.
अनुमान.
Assumption as a held belief or accepted idea.
मान्यता.
Hypothesis.
परिकल्पना.
Document.
दस्तावेज.
Proof.
सबूत.
Clue.
संकेत.
Notice.
सूचना.
Insight.
अंतर्दृष्टि.
Now one contrast.
संकेत.
Is a clue, but.
सबूत.
Is proof. Another contrast.
अनुमान.
Is an assumption, while.
परिकल्पना.
Is a hypothesis you can test. Friendly conclusion. You solved a biscuit mystery and learned sharp Hindi vocabulary. That is objectively a good day. Thank you for learning with me. Keep practicing these words out loud.
अनुमान, मान्यता, परिकल्पना, दस्तावेज, सबूत, संकेत, सूचना,
And
अंतर्दृष्टि.
the more you repeat them in funny, vivid contexts, the faster they stick. So keep listening, keep practicing, and keep being suspicious of any cat with crumbs on its face.